Hey, what is up, Flav City family? It's Bobby, and for today's Kitchen Basics, I thought we'd rock a turkey for Thanksgiving, but a turkey for two. All right, not everybody has a monster family who gets together on the holidays. Grumpy uncles, crazy aunts, crazy grandpas. Sometimes it's just the two of you, like Dessi and I, and you want to make a turkey, but you don't want to make a 20-pound one. Well, we're gonna rock a turkey breast that is so easy to make. It's got herbs, butter, and a nice no-dripping gravy to go with it. So let's do it, baby. We're gonna take this turkey breast. We're gonna rub it with a citrus and herb butter, put a ton of herbs underneath it, roast it in the oven, and make a really quick gravy. So before we rock this Thanksgiving bird, hook me up, baby. Subscribe to my channel because every week we are rocking out some of the best and most healthy recipes on YouTube, and I would love for you to join the Flav City community. Okay, so in front of me I have a 4-pound bone-in, skin-on turkey breast. You can buy the boneless at the store, but it's gonna dry out in the oven and it's not gonna have nearly as much flavor as this one has. But turkey breast do not have a lot of flavor, right? They're very lean and there's no fat, which means they need love in the flavor department. So before we chuck this guy in the oven, we're gonna make it really flavorful herb butter to stuff up under his skin. So in front of me in this bowl, I have half a stick of unsalted room temperature butter. To the butter, I'm gonna add the zest of 1 lemon, 1 garlic clove that is finely grated, a teaspoon of fresh parsley, a 1/4 teaspoon of kosher salt, and a few cracks of black pepper. And then use a fork to mash that up and mix it really well. By the way, for the lemon zest, I actually used a Meyer lemon. They're in season right now. It's a cross between a tangerine and a lemon, and the flavor is phenomenal. You can get them at Trader Joe's, or if you live in SoCal, you probably have them in your backyard. All right, check out my turkey breast here now. I take the skin and I just kind of peel it back and then grab the butter and just stuff it right under the skin. I know it's kind of crazy and it looks wrong. I'm pretty much violating the turkey breast right now, but the flavor it's gonna give is next level. And remember, we don't have dark meat here. This is all white meat. I said a half a stick, but I mean, it is Thanksgiving. So if you wanna do like 3/4 of a stick, the bird can use it. But we're gonna stick with that. Let me wash my hands and then we'll season this guy real quick. All right, the flavor does not stop there because the interior, or the underside of the turkey is seasoned, but the exterior is not. So go ahead and pinch a generous amount of salt on the top, followed by some cracked pepper. Flip the turkey over, add some more kosher salt, and then some more black pepper. Washing my hands again. And then we could stop there, but y'all know the trick. I don't know when to stop, right? I wanna get more of those Thanksgiving, more of those winter flavors in there. So I have a packet of rosemary, I have a packet of sage, and I have a packet of thyme. Art, is this the beginnings of a Garfunkel and Simon song here? It could be, but we're just gonna take this and put it underneath the bird. That way the aromatics kind of steep into the turkey while it's baking. So lift it up and place the thyme, the rosemary, and the sage underneath the turkey. And then add a drizzle of olive oil on top. That's gonna help the skin brown in the oven. All right, now before I chuck this into the oven, which by the way is preheating at 350 degrees, we have to stick a probe thermometer in there. All right, come here for a second. Most recipes tell you to pull turkey at what temperature for safe consumption?
165 degrees, I think.
Right, but we're gonna pull it at 155 degrees because of something called
Carryover cooking.
Carryover cooking, right? If you pull it at 165, by the time this rests for 10 minutes, what's gonna happen?
It's gonna die a second death.
It's gonna die, it's gonna go to 175, but if you pull it at 155, the final temperature will be 165 and you'll have the most juicy breast ever. So go ahead and take your probe thermometer and stick it into the deepest part of the turkey breast. Of course, wash your hands one more time and make sure that probe is in the deepest part but not touching the bone. Otherwise you won't have a good, accurate reading. Obviously I put this Amazon link down below. And then let's chuck this in the oven and then set your timer for 155. All right, while the turkey does its thing, let's get cracking on the no drippings gravy. I guess that's like the one negative about not having a whole turkey, but you don't need turkey fat and turkey drippings to make gravy. We're gonna do it without it. But I did wanna mention, if you wanted to brine your turkey breast, you can. I just figure that you probably don't want to, but if you are, there's 2 techniques. There's the wet technique where you get a big bucket, you fill it up with water, brown sugar, salt, aromatics like rosemary, thyme, black peppercorns and garlic, and let that turkey breast sit in the cold solution overnight. It's kind of a pain in the butt, I have a recipe for a dry brine turkey. I'll put the link down below. You basically put all those flavors I just mentioned without the water all over the turkey, kind of like a dry rub. Let it sit overnight and it puts so much flavor into your bird. So if you're interested in that, down below. For the drippings, I'm preheating a saucepan over medium heat. I'm gonna add a tablespoon of unsalted butter. Art, why are we cooking with unsalted butter?
Because you want to control the amount of salt.
I do. I'm a control freak, baby. I don't want to know how much salt's in there. Let that melt and do its thing. Next up, add about a half a cup of red onions that are diced. Pinch in a 1/4 teaspoon of salt and a few cracks of black pepper. All right, now you didn't think I was gonna buy a little clamshell of thyme and not use it beyond just stuffing it under that turkey, did you? So, the way I like to break down fresh thyme is, see the way the leaves grow? They go up. Just take your finger and drag it the opposite way, and all of those beautiful thyme leaves just fall off. If you don't have fresh thyme, you can use dried thyme for this, not a problem. I'm gonna use about a teaspoon total. By the way, Art did not get the reference to the Simon and Garfunkel song from earlier. I don't know the name, but it's like, rosemary, parsley, sage, and thyme.
I'm gonna point out your failures.
Then again, Art hasn't seen like 90% of the pop culture movies too, so we can't blame him. We just gotta love him. And then finally chop the thyme, and then add it to the pot with the onions. And then add 2 cloves of garlic that have been finely minced. All right, I'm gonna let that go for just a couple minutes before I add my flour for my roux. And make sure you check my other videos this week, because this week is all about easy Thanksgiving recipes for 2 people. We have the turkey breast. We have the ultimate Bobby's Basics crispy Brussels sprouts. We have creamy mashed potatoes and low carb, creamy, cheesy cauliflower mashed potatoes. And what else? We got my cornbread from last year. We got my homemade cranberry sauce. Thanksgiving will be the best ever with all my recipes that are down below in the description box. Next up, add 1 tablespoon of unsalted butter to the pan, and then shake in 1 tablespoon of all-purpose flour. Give that a mix and cook it for about 3 minutes. All right, after 3 minutes, look inside the pan. See how it's kind of like golden brown or like deep brown? That's what you want. At this stage, what is this sauce called, Art? What's the French word for it? The oil and the fat.
Oh, roux.
Roux,
Oh,
correct.
I thought you were talking about, like, what style?
Oh, it is good to go, yes.
Blonde roux, chocolate roux.
Yes, there's medium roux, dark roux. Now, to make it a liquid sauce, I'm gonna measure 1 cup of chicken stock. I used to use unsalted, but then I looked at the ingredients and they use like caramel coloring and some MSG, so I went back to regular. I just get organic. And then, let me grab me a whisk. I'm gonna add slowly the stock to the pan while whisking. And then we're just gonna cook this for about 5 to 7 minutes over medium heat until it thickens up. This is about the point of the video where you guys say, hey, what if I wanna make this keto? Well, you would skip the flour part and you would add xanthan gum, but only add a little bit at a time until it thickens up. If you add too much, it makes it kind of slimy. So let's check this in another like 5 or 6 minutes. All right, you guys, it's been about 5 or 7 minutes. Look inside the pot. It looks pretty good. Art, I want a second opinion here.
The plot is thick.
Get out of here. I did add some salt and pepper to the pan. Art, you threw me off my game. But I do want some acid. It needs a little brightness, so I'm gonna take a little bit of that Meyer lemon juice and just squeeze it through my fingers here to catch the seeds. Oh, the Meyer lemon juice went in my eye. It's right. Things are coming on hinge here for Thanksgiving like they normally do, right? Art wants you to see the nappe. Since we're talking French technique and everything, you put a spoon into the sauce, you turn it over, and you draw a line with your finger. If the sauce holds, it's ready. If it's still kind of runny, let it cook another couple minutes. All right, nappe has been achieved, heat off. Are you on team creamy or team chunky when it comes to gravy? For me, it's creamy, Art, right? So grab your gravy boat, and then take the sauce and pour it directly through a strainer into the boat, and then just use a spoon to push it through, and all these solids and garlic and onions stay in the strainer. Doesn't that look good? Look at the color, look at the consistency, look at the specks of like pepper, a little bit of thyme in there. That's Thanksgiving. All right, let's check this for seasoning. Oh, that's good. You know, that lemon juice at the end gives it the perfect zing. The fresh thyme is awesome. The sweetness of the onions, this is perfect. All right, let's see how the turkey is doing. Wow, we're up to 140. Take a look at that, Art. We got maybe another 15 minutes left and then we'll yank it. 154. There's never been so much attention on a probe thermometer timer before. All right, 155 has been achieved. All right, you guys, now I did put the broiler on for the last 5 minutes because look at that skin, baby. That's what I want, right? Golden brown, slightly charred skin. The bird is cooked perfectly even. Now, let's hit a few housekeeping notes. Number one, why am I wearing these ridiculous gloves? I've been burning my hands like crazy lately on the oven using these stupid little silicone placeholder mats. So I bought these like Kevlar-like gloves on Amazon. You can touch the fireplace, you won't burn your hand. I'll put the links down below because you're gonna need them for the holidays. I'm gonna leave that probe thermometer in the turkey breast while it's resting because if I pull it out, the juices are gonna spurt out like Old Faithful and go everywhere, which by the way, we have to rest this turkey breast for 15 to 25 minutes now because the juices inside are literally boiling. If I cut into this right now, Art, what's gonna happen?
Juices are gonna spill out.
The juices are gonna spill out everywhere. First, let's take the probe thermometer out of the turkey breast, and then I wanna cut it in half just to show you how juicy it is. You can see where the butter melted into the turkey breast, and the only thing left is the herbs, and look how juicy that white, tender turkey breast is. Now let's slice some pieces here. Just kinda cut around the bone, careful with your fingers, and get nice big chunks. Put it on the plate, and then don't forget to spoon over a healthy amount of our gravy all over that turkey breast, and then a little bit of parsley to garnish. And there it is, you guys, Thanksgiving for two, the ultimate citrus and butter basted turkey breast with no dripping gravy. Come on, baby, even if you have a monster family, apply this technique to the whole bird, use my brining method down below, but man, right now, Dessi's out, so it literally is Thanksgiving for two. Me and Art gotta try this. I'm a gravy-aholic, so I gotta go overboard here. You want some more?
Sure.
You like the juice, huh? You like the juice. You like the juice?
Juice is good. Juice is good.
Juice is good. Wow. All right, you guys. First off, the meat is perfectly cooked. It's juicy and moist. The flavor of the salt and the butter carried all the way through down into the bird. And that sauce, that gravy on top just adds that little hug, that Thanksgiving theme on top of the turkey that is so good. Art, thank you. Guys, the recipe is down below, including my dry brine if you want to do the whole turkey. Check out my other Thanksgiving basic recipes. We got Thanksgiving cranberry sauce, cornbread in a cast iron skillet. We got Brussels sprouts. We got cauliflower keto mash. We got potato mash, the ultimate mashed potatoes. They're all below me right now and the links down in the description box. But we will see you very soon. Until then, hashtag keep on cooking, mad love. Peace, y'all. Did you get it that time?
You signed everything.
Nice. Cut.